The Boy Scouts are officially ending their ban on openly gay leaders, and that has Mormon officials threatening to pull church affiliation with the organization. Under the new policy, church-sponsored Boy Scout units can still choose leaders who share their beliefs, even if that means excluding gays. Despite that compromise, the Church of Latter-day Saints says it is deeply troubled by the new policy and is considering actually separating from the Scouts. Joining me now from Louisville, Kentucky, Greg Burke, who was forced to step down as a Scout leader because of his sexual orientation. Greg, nice to talk to you about this. First of all, you say that you want to apply to be a Scout leader again. I think a lot of people would wonder, why would you want to be a part of an organization that once rejected you?
Well, I never wanted to leave the Boy Scouts organization in the first place. I was a devoted Scouter for 8 years and a registered leader for 6 of those years. I believe in the Scouting program, and I want to continue to be involved in it because it's a ministry for me. It's very important to me at my church to be involved in various ministries, and Scouting is one of those that I choose to participate in. So I really believe in the Scouting program. That's why I want to get back involved.
So how will you go about approaching other Boy Scout groups that say no to gay Scout leaders?
Well, hopefully I can be an example for them because I was an openly gay Scout leader for many years before I was ousted. We never had any issues whatsoever. I had an impeccable record as a leader. I expect to carry that forward in the future as I get involved with my son's troop. So I think by setting an example, I can, along with other people who are openly gay and serving as Scout leaders, will be able to set examples and kind of ease some people's fears about what it means to be an openly gay Scout leader. One of the things about Scouting is that there are protections in place called Too Deep Leadership and No One-on-One Contact that protect youth from any kind of inappropriate action by Scout leaders. And it also protects leaders like me, because if you always have 2 adults present, then you don't have to worry about any false claims being made. So the Scouting program has already thought about these things, and they have safeguards in place.
And the Mormons, as we were saying, they're already saying that they may leave over it. I guess the question is, why not go all in? Because right now the church is still able to decide.
Right. That confuses me just a little bit, the statement about the Mormons, because 2 years ago, the Boy Scouts of America voted to allow gay youth. And I would have thought if they were going to make a move and leave the Scouting program, they would have done it 2 years ago, but they stuck with it. Scouting has continued to flourish in LDS units. So it does surprise me a little bit that they would make a statement like that. I really think that it's something that they're just struggling with a little bit right now, but given a little bit of time, they'll make the right decision, and they will welcome gay leaders as well.
Let me get your reaction to one of the statements, because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints says that it's deeply troubled by the vote. Also adding, when the leadership of the church resumes its regular schedule of meetings coming up in August, the century-long association with Scouting will need to be examined. What would you like to say to them in terms of making a decision about this?
Oh, I would encourage them to please stay in the Scouting program, to not abandon the Scouting organization. It's been around for 105 years. It's a great program for youth. Scouting is a place for all people. All Scouts are equal. And if they left, it would be a great loss for the Scouting program. So I would just appeal to them to please stick with the program.
Greg Burke, nice to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.